Welcome to video lecture series on electronic devices and circuits. I am Kanakadurga from St. Peter's Engineering College, working as an associate professor in EC department. In this lecture, we are going to concentrate mainly on the transistor biasing. How can we able to bias the transistor in order to produce a proper output voltage without changing the shape of the signal with respect to the input. Those things we are going to discuss in this lecture. And the previous lectures we discussed with respect to the configuration of transistors, operation of the transistors, and how the transistor act like as an amplifier and act like as a switch. We have already discussed in the previous sessions. In these sessions we require the basic knowledge of the prerequisites like what happens the current when we are going to increase the voltages either in the forward bias case or the reverse bias case, and what happens to their base width of the transistor is also important over here. And next one, what happens if I goes on increasing the voltage of reverse bias voltage, what happens to the transistor is also one thing requires prerequisites for this talk. And the outcome from this course we can able to expect once we complete this lecture. Biasing, we can able to bias the circuits properly without damaging the transistors. So what's the basic functions of the transistor? We already discussed. It act like as an amplifier and it act like as a switch. Okay, what does the amplifier will do? It improves the weakened signals, or it increases the voltage level of weakened signal, will be called it as an amplifier. For faithful of amplification, nothing but take it out the system like this. We have a system of this. We are going to be apply the input and we are going to get the output. The output is for far greater than the input. So whenever I am giving the sinusoidal signal, the amplifier should able to produce only the sinusoidal signal only. In this case, that only applicable over the case in this case of the amplifier session. Suppose if you are not done properly the biasing, if I am giving the sinusoidal also, but the amplifier will produce output like this. So what is happening in this case is the peak has been clipped off, it has been removed. So if the proper biasing is not chosen, so the shape of the signal is going to be changes. And another thing is that we require the transistor in order to act like as an amplifier. The JE junction should be forward bias and the JC junction should be reverse bias case. Then only the transistor is going to be act like as a amplifier. And we have to do such a way that produce the output current by properly maintaining of reverse bias voltage. How much the voltage drop is going to be exist in the reverse at the JC junction, that we are going to consider it as a output voltage. And we have to choose a proper resistances and supply voltages in order to avoid this clipping phenomena, will be called it as a biasing state. Okay, what is a biasing is nothing but proper choosing of resistance values and the supply voltages in order to do the amplification process without changing the shape of the signal, that we are going to call it as a biasing. So for that purpose, it requires mainly maintenance of proper collector emitter voltage and the passage of signals in the transistor is required. So what is the biasing? So that biasing is nothing but choosing of voltages and resistances values without changing the shape of the input signal in the amplification process will be called it as a biasing, or normal also, no problem. So next one, in that case, why the biasing should be there? If you are not choosing the biasing properly, then the signal is going to be clipped off. Either it can be a DC or it can be an AC part. Here the signal peak value has been removed. So in order to avoid these type of problems, we require the biasing. So what is the biasing? Biasing is nothing but properly choosing of battery and circuits or else with respect to the resistances will be called it as a biasing. So what the biasing goes for makes what the phenomena it will do internally with respect to the operating point. So what is the operating point of a transistor is, suppose in order to, it should be a stable one, like whenever the temperature is going to be increases, what happens, the reverse saturation current will be increases. The ICO0 current is going to be increases. We already knows that the collector current will be, IC will be equals to beta times of IB plus ICO0. So IC is equals to beta times of IB plus ICO0. So in this case, whenever the temperature is going to be increases, what happens? The reverse saturation current ICO0 will doubles for 10 degree rise of temperature. So whenever the ICO0 has been increasing, indirectly the IC current is going to be increased. Whenever the IC current across the reverse bias junction has been increasing, there indirectly the power dissipation is going to be increases. Once again the power dissipation has been increased, what happens indirectly? Once again the temperature going to be increases. Once the temperature is increases, the cycle repeats, like ICO0 increases, IC increases, once again the power dissipation increases. Once the power dissipation across the junction is increasing, temperature is going to be increases. The cycle repeats totally at one condition, the transistor enters into the failed condition or damaged condition. This phenomenon will be called as a thermal runaway. So this has to be avoided by choosing a proper resistances values and voltages in order to maintain that point has been fixed. Nothing but the current has to be fixed. Whatever the temperature variations exist, whatever the supply variations also going to be there also, this IC should be fixed. That we are going to call it as a bias stability. Whenever, even though we are changing the supplies or even though the temperature is going to be changes, the current of collector should be remained constant. That should be done by proper choosing of the components and the circuit like a designing part will be called it as a stability or stabilization process. So next one comes, what is an operating point? The operating point is nothing but the output characteristics of any configuration we have. Suppose for CE configuration, the output voltage goes for VCE and the output current will be IC. So this like the characteristics are going to exist, right? So that in this output characteristics, we are taking the output or collecting the output across the reverse bias junction. So for that we are considering the output characteristics. So we have to fix that Q point. So what is the Q point is nothing but the coordination of output voltage and the output current will be called it as a Q point. This is the Q point for us. So what is the voltage at this point? What is the current? That we are going to call it as a Q point. So the coordinates of output voltage and the output current of any configuration will be called it as a Q point or operating point. So in this why we have to fix the Q point? Suppose if the Q point either it can be nearer to saturation or it can be nearer to cutoff. If I am going to give the supply of input signal like sinusoidal, it going to be remove the peak signals or the signals going to be output available in distorted format. In order to avoid these problems, we have to fix the Q point. That Q point maintaining at a particular coordinations of voltage and the current will be called it as a stabilization process. So what is the Q point? The coordinates of output voltage and the output current will be called it as a Q point. The maintenance of that Q point at that particular position or with respect to that coordinates only will be called it as a stabilization process. For this stabilization process, we require so many things we have to consider, like temperature we have to consider, voltages of external biasing and resistances levels. We have to consider all these phenomena. So the selection of proper Q point depends upon the following factors mainly: the amplitude of the signals to be handled by the amplifier and distortions level of the signals. Suppose if I am choosing here the Q point over here, the positive part mostly it going to be clipped off a large amount. And in order to avoid that, we have to choose a proper Q point. The load at which the amplifier is to work to corresponding supply voltage. How much the resistances of the load we have considered? What is the supply we are giving for the circuit is another thing. Suppose it is only operates in this region. If I am going to take it out 20 volts of the input, it cannot go for amplifier. That is also one phenomenon. And the operating point of a transistor shifts mainly with the temperature changes with respect to temperature, since the transistor parameter of the beta, IC0 and VBE are depending upon the temperatures. So the beta value is nothing but, what is the beta? Beta is nothing but IC divided by output current is IC and input current for CE is I. So in this case, already we discussed, whenever the temperature increases, what happens? IC0 going to be increases. Whenever the IC0 going to be increases, what happens to this? IC will be increased. Once again the IC going to be increases, the power dissipation increases. Okay. Once the IC has been increases, what happens? IC divided by E. So beta value also goes for increasing. And next one, indirectly the VBE voltage is also going to be increases. So here the case of VBE is nothing but, in this case, the forward bias junction voltage. Whenever the temperature has been increases, we already knows that the forward bias junction of the voltages will be increases by 2.5 volts with respect to. So whenever the temperature increases, the forward bias of the voltage is also going to be increased. So we have to consider these three parameters in order to stabilization properties. We should have to consider these parameters. The beta value we have to consider, and we have to consider IC0, and we have to consider the VBE voltage also for proper amplification part. So what is the operating point is nothing but coordinations of VCE and IC, or else output voltage and the output current will be called as a Q point. Maintaining of that Q point, we are going to call it as a stabilization process or stabilization. Okay, so how we are going to maintain that? By properly choosing of supply voltages, resistances values, and considering the parameters like beta, IC0 and VBE will becomes under the category of stabilization purposes. The stabilization is nothing but we have to fix that Q point with respect to the coordinates. So if you observe what is the DC operating point, in this case we are considering in this DC analysis, we are considering only the DC supplies and they are the variable supplies. So in this circuit of the configuration of the case, transistor is going to be act like as an amplifier. Next we have to discuss how do we have to choose the Q point with respect to the output characteristics. So once we have given the supply voltages and we have studied the input characteristics, and next we have studied the output characteristics. So in order to study the input characteristics, what we have to do is that maintain the output voltage as a constant and vary the input voltage and the input current, and draw the sketch. You will get the sketch will be like this. When it comes to the output characteristics, maintain the input current as a constant, vary the output voltage of VCE, and draw the graph between output voltages versus output current. So this is the output voltages versus output current. When you sketch, this is the plot of it. So in this case, mainly we have to remember this is output characteristics of a CE configuration, where we have to choose the Q point. The Q point should be chosen the midpoint, since if we are going to give the input like this of the case, suppose if I am choosing this midpoint, so when I am giving the supply like this of the input signal, it can able to produce the output in a proper way. Nothing but without any clipping parts, it going to generate with the more output voltage, it can able to generate proper sinusoidal output. Otherwise it cannot able to generate the proper output voltage. That is a major thing we have to consider the Q point properly for amplification session. Otherwise it cannot act like as an amplifier. We are going to get a distorted output. Suppose the case like another case, if I am choosing the Q point over here, then it will be the center one, another will be there, it goes for top one and it goes for like this. If we are going to apply sinusoid like this, what happens in this case? Since it is in the saturation, the current is going to be clipped off and the signal will present like this of the case. It has been out of the reason, so that up to this part of the session, the signal is going to be clipped off like this. The output is you are going to get the output like this. The signal has been clipped off that. In the cutoff region also there, in the cutoff region here, the current will not conducting the case over here. So what happens if you choose nearer to that, the current is not going to be there. So whenever the current has been not there, output will not, voltage will not be present. So once again here also the same problem, signal will not be in a proper format, it goes for the distortion. So normally what is the preferably we have to do in these cases are, we have to choose proper the Q point at the center level in order to make the signal is a undistorted one. So that is a major case for the stabilization process. So the Q point of consideration is the midpoint with respect to the analysis. So suppose this is a point over here, and this where we have to choose. We have to calculate what is the minimum of the value of this coordinating system, and we have to go for what will be the maximum of the point, or else where it touches x-axis and y-axis. On that case, we have to choose the midpoint in order to avoid distortions of the signal. So this we are going to calculate where it touches the x-axis at what point, and where it touches the y-axis at this point we have to calculate, and we have to calculate the midpoint. That midpoint we have to choose it as a Q point. Then if you are going to fix that as a Q point, that amount of voltage and that amount of current has to be generated at the output. Then only we can able to get the signals without any distortions. So in order to get this amount of output voltage, what are the resistances values we have to choose? What are the supply we have to choose? That thing comes under the biasing and the stabilization process. And the stabilization is nothing but whenever the temperature is going to be increases, also the VCE and IC current should be maintained as a constant one. So in this we have to remember mainly in the operating point is nothing but the coordinates of output voltage and output current should be maintained as a constant one. That how we are going to maintain as a constant one is known as a stabilization process. Next comes into the picture where we have to select the Q point. Always select the Q point in the mid region. So for that purpose we have to calculate what is with respect to this, what is the maximum and what is the minimum. This will be called as a DC load line. We have to sketch the DC load line by applying the KVL equations across the output and calculate what is the minimum where it touches the x-axis and where it touches the y-axis. Once we have been calculated, and we have to consider the midpoint. That will be the Q point. If you are considering the midpoint, the center only, we can have the amplification process faithfully. Otherwise, the signal is going to be distorted one. So what the requirements for the biasing network mainly is ensuring of proper zero signal collector current, one thing, and we have to mainly for the germanium, the VCE should not follow less than the 0.5 volts for germanium transistor and 1 volt for silicon transistor, and ensuring that the Q point is going to be fixed with respect to the coordination of the values of VCE and IC with respect to proper operating point. Thank you.